Good afternoon, everybody. I felt compelled to do a little bit more Dark Souls. And the reason for this is I was watching yesterday's stream, and I don't know if it's the boss, but there's definitely a whole other area to this level that I was on yesterday. And just give me a second here. I'm going to restart my stream. So there's very clearly a spot which I walked by. I have no idea why I didn't see that before, but something very, I don't know, obvious to me that that I could have gone over. And one of the reasons why I stopped last night was I wasn't quite sure where to go. So with that in mind, we are going to return, and I don't know how long I'll be playing, but I at least wanted to get to the boss, because I'm pretty sure we're close. So, no promises for how long it's going to be. As always, if you would like to chat, you have a few options available. There is, if you really want to be on Twitch, you can. I don't see a reason why that is a particularly good solution, but if you'd like, it's there. And then in addition, I have the Discord open. I am reading that. So I feel this needs to be said, just as by way of introduction, because I feel like we took a step back on the last cast as far as my ability to control myself during stream. One of the reasons why I do this streaming on YouTube is because I think it's the best way that I can show this content. I think it looks a lot better than Twitch. And personally, I actually prefer YouTube as a streaming platform. I know that is not necessarily the position everybody wants to hear, but I think it's better that I be honest about my options and about what I think will allow me to deliver the best content, rather than try and hold on to some sort of dogma of there's one God, only one God, but Dark Souls is his prophet. But I think the big thing is that people, I think it's very fair to say when you're not 100% about something. So very clearly people don't like YouTube chat. And I think this is because of the Google Plus integration, and I can completely understand and respect that. And I think, giving voice to it once is fine, noted, and that's why I opened up the Discord. But I think one of the things that has troubled me about some of the streams when more people get inside of them is that it feels like the stream becomes a referendum on Twitch versus YouTube, and that's not a conversation I'm interested in having on Twitch. There's on stream. It's one I'm interested in having in general, but I think the best thing to say is that I actually have to put in a little bit of effort to check 3 or 4 different forms of chat. I'm okay doing that if it makes it a better experience for everybody, but I would just ask that as a compromise between what I can what I can do, sort of the extra work that I've taken on for myself in terms of using the chat options, that maybe we spend a little less time complaining about the option that you don't, and just using the one that you prefer. If you legitimately do not like using Twitch chat, YouTube, and Discord, I don't know what to say. I mean, at that point, probably you're not watching my regular cast. I think that's a... Oh, wow! It's, Yeah, I knew that was coming. Oh my god! Oh god, what's her name? It's the witch. I wonder if we can chop these. Why can't I remember her name? The spider lady. This is gonna hurt. Ow! I think it's probably better I just stop trying to... Probably better I just stop trying to attack those tails. I don't know if they can be severed. I also need to... let's see when they come up. It's such an opportunity. Oh god, I'm dead. Pick up. Ah! Okay, so problems with that fight for me. One, I was very foolish not to heal up at those opportunities I had. I think, honestly, I think I was just a little too, I was a little bit asleep at the switch for those tail strikes, so I don't necessarily think there was anything I could have done about that, but I definitely think, not topping up my health at the time was really what did me in there. I don't even need to fight these guys. So, I think we'll get it on the second try. That's probably one I should have gotten the first shot, I think, realistically. I also don't know. It really feels like whenever there's a boss in Dark Souls that has a tail, I should... Alright, so we're going to take advantage of the... Oh, nope. She's having none of that. I'm already being careless. So this is a good time to heal when she does that. It's an Estes job. See, I thought I could trade blows when I dodge one of those strikes. That doesn't seem to be the case though, so I gotta mess this up again. Oh, come on. This is a short fight. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to get this done, so I'll just find a convenient spot to die. That was definitely a step back. So... I don't know if I have much to add on that. I just maybe don't be dumb is really all that I have to add there. Oh, it's actually worth mentioning, I made one small change. So the reason why I did this, again, I walked by, or I watched the VOD again. So I very obviously walked by that spot, which it turns out did lead to the boss. But I also got a Chloranthy ring +1. So it actually raises my stamina higher than, or faster than the one I was using before. So that is the only change. I'm trying to make it so that basically what goes on stream is my initial playthrough, which is why you wind up with really dumb stuff like me doing reasonably well the first time on the boss, and then, you know, doing horribly on time too. Beginner's luck, I guess. Oh, that sucked. Oh. So again, this would have been a good healing point. Yikes. I'm dead. Okay, so that does a little less damage than I thought it would, but this is not how I wanted this fight to start. Okay, so there's a little bit of a tell as to when it's the feet, or the tails. There we go. I don't get how I dodged that the first try and utterly failed to escape it all subsequent tries. That's a brutal combo. But motion actually really seems to be the way to handle that. So, just gonna tap in. Take those tails down. I mean, I've been dividing them between the two, so it could be that there's health for each one, but yikes. That's not what I wanted. Healing on that one. Maybe I will lose like half my health to this. There's seemingly no escaping that, but I very clearly did the first time. I should have gone in for an attack on that. Oh, come on! Hey, Sir Wedgie, good to see you again. Yeah, there's no getting around that toxic, unfortunately. Okay, I still think the shield's the way to go. I need to get better at the... What else is it? So I wind up wasting a lot of Estus when she comes out of the ground. Just gotta think a bit about what's really getting me on this fight. I may also need to use an effigy just to bump up my health, but I think I should be okay. So I'm thinking maybe going two-handed when the tails come down might be an idea to get a little bit more, get a little bit more out of the attacks. Wow, that's a dirty trick. Oh, you know what? I should have checked to see if I have anything to heal toxic. I don't think I do. I've only gotten like one moss. Jesus Christ. Ballsy that it turned off. It's not gonna matter because she's gonna come up through the ground. Alright, let's see if we can fix that. I'm gonna wait until it starts running for me, like now. Still coming for me. So I guess I just outrun it. Yeah, that's a swipe. Oh, Jesus Christ, I had... Oh, I'm dead. So that was a big screw up on my part. I had double-handed set up when I shouldn't have. So, fair enough. I think the real shame, the one thing I don't like about getting at points like this is that I think I've more or less got the boss fight, like, sort of figured out. I'm at the implementation point. But, I'm definitely failing to deliver in that regard. So, I don't always know if that makes for the most compelling viewing, but I'll do my best. By the way, Wedgie, I don't know, I don't have timestamps on YouTube, so when you said your hello, I don't know if that went by too long without me noticing. But I hope you're well. I'm always really encouraged to see you inside a chat. I'm sorry I don't have something a little bit better for you to watch, but we'll do our best. Alright, so I think I gotta leg it to the souls, even if it means that I miss like the one free hit on her. The damage that I do on one hit is not that substantial, so... Yeah, she knows what I'm doing. I don't know if there's any reason to get fancy. I think maybe just single-handed until I figure out my controls a little bit better. This is Tails. So I know I can get 3 good shots in. I thought I used my shield on that, but... use this to heal, but I think she's gonna come out of the ground after. Well, let's try. I got away with it. Oh, no, I didn't. I paid far more health than I would have if I just waited. Oh, just need a swipe. Ow. Just drink up. I'll just be inconvenient to catch, hopefully. I was decidedly convenient to catch. Oh, okay. I really don't know how to deal with that. Like, unless you straight up dodge, you're dying on that. I gotta heal. Doesn't matter. Yeah, that's it's basically, it's not quite as bullshit as the troll eating you. I mean, the troll eating you, so far as I can tell, is just a straight up, you die. But man, it's close. Okay, poison resist. Oh, hang on, these are boosts, so... Cures poison, but not toxic. Stamina recovery. Oh, you know what? I can... Okay, so one thing that I can do is buff up my weapon. I think this one I'm going to use in FG. Yeah, actually, I don't know why I'm starting this fight. I will use an effigy. It feels a little wasteful, but I think I'll just buff up and be ready to go. And I know I've killed this guy 15 times. This is actually probably, out of all of the changes in Dark Souls 2, that change to whether or not bosses respawn is probably the one that I don't agree with. Because again, I always talk about, whenever people ask, why do you like this game? I always talk about how you have to, you have to beat the game that was given to you, not, like, beat it at the save state or something like that. And it really feels like the elimination of certain bosses sort of prevents me from being able to do that. Now what? I guess I'll do Gold Pine? I don't really know what scorpions are weak to. My souls. Oh wow, I got a lot out of that. but she took her revenge. Okay, that sucks. So I mean, this is doing some extra damage, but this is not like setting me on fire kind of extra damage. Oh, and I completely whiffed that. Damn it. Alright, and the gold fine's gone. I really hope I don't waste my effigy on this. I should have gone in for an attack. Actually, I should have used that to heal. This is potentially dangerous. Would have been a fight ruiner. Well, crap. Nice. Ah, that sucks. It's a very weird place to be caught in. Didn't get as much out of that as I was hoping. I should have used this as a chance to buff up. That's fine. Oh, god damn it. I mean, in principle, I could try and buff up my weapon, but I don't think it's really worth the trouble. Help. Jesus. I should have used that for a regular heal. Oh, that could be what does me in. Oh god, this... I hate this, this phase. Okay, she just ran right over me without jumping, so that's encouraging, I guess. I think her background is supposed to be that she's a sorceress, so I'm not entirely sure this witching urn is going to do the trick, but let's see. Yeah, that is no damage at all. Okay, let's just use one of these. I hate to waste it, but... especially waste it like that. What was the... Oh! That, okay, so you can take out the tails. Okay, I'm weaning myself off of these. It's become an addiction. So I'm not in a bad spot right now. I don't mind sort of taking my time and waiting for the ideal attacks. Unfortunately, I don't know if this phase is sort of designed to be, you know, something that makes you want to hurry the hell up. Because obviously when she comes out of the ground, that's a lot of damage that you take. But, and obviously the longer you stay in the fight, the more times you're going to have to encounter this. Jesus. Okay, I am going to use the little radiance. It's going to swipe. Oh, that's such bullshit. I kind of want to get this other tail now. Okay, here's my chance. Okay, no, she's gonna die before that thing does. I'm gonna try this. I don't think it'll work. Yeah, she's gonna come out. Okay, we'll finish this. Alright. Victory achieved. Kind of wish I finished that a little more elegantly than I actually did, and I wound up wasting a lot of my consumables. But we won, which is kind of what matters. How in the world do I get this thing? Maybe if she, like, comes up beneath me. Try bug. Boss required ahead. Oh, see, she's got to knock you up onto the... Oh, hang on, they say torch, so like, if you burn the thing down, maybe? You know, I'm actually tempted to try this. Nope. So, more consumables wasted. I refuse to believe that the boss is the only way you can actually wind up there. Am I hollow? Nope, I'm alive. So one of the other things I wanted to address was there's a lot of statues. I think everybody's trying to say these are secret passages, and I'm an idiot trying to check them. Weakness message. I mean, this is the kind of place waiting for a trap. The doors of fair. Okay, so we're in a totally new area. So yeah, what I'm looking for as well is one of these fragrant, what is it? Fragrant branch of yore or something like that. And gorgeous view above. Yeah, it is nice. All right. I really don't know what to make of this. Okay, so it's slow and stupid, basically. I should probably be focusing more on finding a bonfire for these souls. I need to meet new things and kill them. Yeah, so I'm trying to find one of these branches that remove petrification. And then there's so many dead bodies around here. This is a little disconcerting. I don't know if there's any benefit to me lighting my torch yet. More life gems for me to use in foolish and inefficient ways. Yeah, so I'm trying to find I should feel bad, but I don't. That is an anvil on the end of a stick, ladies and gentlemen. And I can charm dragons now. Alright, sorry. I've been trying to make the same point for like 5 minutes now. So yeah, I'm trying to get past a couple of these ones. Basically, I'm especially looking for the areas... Oh, hello. Let's maybe start by getting rid of these souls. So basically just trying to find a way past some of these like these rooms that are closed off by that are blocked off by the statues. And then what was the next thing I was trying to do? Yeah, it looks like it's 1.5 every time I bump up vitality, so I'm gonna keep with that. Actually, what I should have done was gone to the different merchants and seen what they... So the item I'm looking for is this, the Fragrant Branch of Yore. But they are very expensive, so... And there's seemingly very few of them. The other thing I was going to say is I really like the design of those enemies that I had to face. It's, you know, you go through these different areas, you know, you have first of all, the environment, the look is very distinct, and then you have just a very different style of opponent that you're going up against. It's something very heavy. They're fighting you in water, so your movement is necessarily going to be slow. That's a really cool trick. And I'm going to take a lot of damage. You know what? Let's start this off right. Maybe I should just see what's upstairs first. Yeah, so you've got, you know, you're in water, so you're quite a bit slower. The enemy is... Yeah, you can't see that dog at all. There he is. Or is that a rat? Sorry, I killed your pet. But yeah, there's just so much character in this environment, just kind of communicated through the design of the enemies and their move sets and just the places you fight them in. Oops. My fault for not being more careful. Alright. I definitely should not have taken that much damage. They are pretty neat looking. Rusted mastodon gauntlets. Oh, there's a place for those pharaoh stones. I'm not sure I want to use those right now, but then hoarding them also seems kind of dumb. I've got quite a few, so... And then we've got another part. We've got so many decisions in terms of where to go. Oh, and you know what? I can probably light this. Alright. Okay, so we have a lot of places for those stones. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. And I'm going to... I'm going to deal with the spot with the torch first. And I'll be cheap and reset at the bonfire. How did you know I was there? Oh, you know what? Yeah. This might get interesting. Gotta be more careful on that. Definitely screwing this up. A lot of Estus I've wasted for my carelessness. Okay, those can be backstabbed. Oh, but they're not dead, so... There we go. Just drinking my coffee before the thing was finished. Okay. So I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit more of an exploration run because I've just used up half of my Estus. Because I'm a bully. Guy's just never gonna get a break. So I'll light my torch. I mean, I have like an hour of torch available. I'm not too worried about that resource, but it doesn't seem to be a very good reason to just, you know, light the thing and let it burn down. If I find another torch that I can send it to, then I'll go back and get it. Slip up. Alright. Again, I'm always suspicious whenever I see pools of blood. Fight me. Alright, I really don't know what was going on there. Okay, so that's a good reason why I wouldn't light my torch, right? There's no reason for me to have done that. I don't have any... Oh, wait, I'm not gonna get this, because I never do. Something about the moveset. Yeah, I'm not jumping... I'm not jumping over the cliff to get that. Wasn't a backstab? Nice. Hello, Jesse Quill. How are you doing? I'm sorry, Jess Ritchie. Would you care to spend the next half hour not talking about the game and how it's so terrible that you need to use your first and last name? Was I really just two-handing my shield? It's mildly hilarious if I was. So we had to deal with a half-naked scorpion lady, Jess. You're on your sandbox account. Well, that's fine, you know, you're watching content creators. You're a bit tipsy. Oh, so you weren't laughing at my salty comments about how people react to new things? You were laughing at the emotes. My jokes aren't funny, I know. But yeah, I will admit actually, I haven't used the emotes myself, but I actually kind of I like it when you guys type them. Alright, well now I've really gone and done it. I can go to this bonfire. Yeah, this area is done, so I'm not ready to call it quits here yet. Now I gotta wonder who ASC is. Hello, ASC. Regrettably, we do not have a Clara Boop. Okay. You're actually the second one to comment about a wait between messages. So let me just take a second here and see if I can fix that. Okay, This is probably a mistake. Okay. Hopefully you will be able to spam now. Maybe if we're really lucky, YouTube will change their... I agree, Jess, but I think we're almost at a point now where the people who want to complain about using YouTube are in the majority, and the people who just enjoy what is being, you know, people who just enjoy the show are sadly in a minority. I wish it were different, but I suppose the cult-like adherence to everything that Twitch does is maybe a reason why I would like to divest myself of that platform. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so the I might be able to get the crystal lizard too, but the thing I'm looking for right now... Yeah, well, I mean, you've had to deal with that on the talk shows, right? Like, how many times do you get asked the question, you know, what would you do if there wasn't Twitch? And everybody's like, oh, you know, I would look for the other Twitch. And I'm like, okay, so this is why people think Twitch is weird. You know, I kind of watch streamers because they've got, you know, things going on in life and they're interesting people. And you seem not to have anything in life. You know, I found this guy trivial when I first fought him. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? Like, so, here's part of why I think Twitch works, and, like, this sort of explains their announcement feature, right? It's like, it's the idea of where, you know, where do you get to hang out, right? Where are all your friends? I get that part. That's what I usually refer to when I talk about the network effects. And so the big appeal here, and the reason why, you know, so what do they want to do? Well, they want to keep... So here's why there's the announcement feature brought into Twitch, right? You do not necessarily want people to rely on Twitter for broadcast information. Why? Because that's time that people are spending off of Twitch. And more importantly, when a popular streamer decides to become when a popular streamer decides to become, let's say, a streamer on another platform, all the means through which they've communicated with their fan base has been through, you know, has now been through this new announcements feature. So the most interesting thing maybe to consider would be how everybody reacted to the Aura Gaming thing, and how everybody was super concerned that it wasn't just, you know, the Aura Gaming Twitch account, but that, like, seemingly everything to do with Aura Gaming... Oh man, how do I get up there? So I've just wasted those 2 stones if I don't find a way up. You know, like, a lot of people were also concerned because... You know, there was really no other like, the Twitter account was taken as well, right? So obviously you have to rely on people who know her personally. And so now just think of it, like, let's say you know, nothing happens to your account, you just decide to move on from Twitch, and you want to inform your community. Well, you've previously, you know, invested so heavily in Twitch, and seemingly for nothing, right? Like, they're saying, hey, don't use Twitter, use us. There's no real benefit to it, right? It's specifically designed to keep people inside of that platform, to make the platform more sticky, and to prevent people from, you know, going to things outside of Twitch. Now again, this is what a business is going to do. It makes a lot of sense for them, but it's a dominated strategy for any streamer to actually start using that feature. Like, I spend, you know, the only time that I spend on Twitch is to watch Twitch broadcasters. if other people start using, like, here's the thing, right? Like, for me as a viewer, I'm only gonna be on Twitch if I'm watching somebody's broadcast. And so I'm not really that interested. Like, it's basically what Twitch is doing is they're creating a system through which, you know, you'll get like this announcement, presumably during the middle of somebody's broadcast, oh hey, so-and-so's coming up. So they've kind of institutionalized this whole idea of people coming in and advertising, you know, hey Johnny Sack, sorry, I'm busy bitching about Twitch. But yeah, like basically the idea of, they've kind of institutionalized this idea of somebody coming in and saying, you know, oh hey guys, I'm just about to start streaming. I mean, obviously I primarily stream on Twitch, but, you know, when I smell a rat, like what's in front of me, I will definitely give voice to it. And by the way, how intimately, Jesse Quill. I just need to prepare myself. But yeah, no, I agree. Like when I was watching that VOD, definitely people were very clearly in touch. I feel like I'm just wasting these lockstones at the moment. Hopefully that took care of the third. See, you know what? I'm gonna use my last one if I do this. I'm just gonna say sunk cost. I don't really want to know. Oh, hello. I really kind of want to save that last one for the upper level. But then there could be something that opens up here too. Okay, you know what? I don't know how to get to the upper level, so let's just... Yeah, so I think that basically just wasted my stuff. That's basically what I'm feeling happened there. At least I get to see these guys, like, not with their back facing me. Good use of those lockstones, fighting trivia. Oh, okay, well I got a shard, so that's nice. But yeah, so sorry, let me pick up a few of the threads of conversation. So yeah, obviously, like, watching that VOD, very clearly people were, oh my god, if I was just watching I would have seen. So I'm probably not going to be able to unlock that place I wanted to now. Oh well. So yeah, very obviously on the VOD, people were in touch through Steam, but then again, it sort of matters. I mean, in this case, there's a finite number of people who you can have on your Steam list, right? So in this case, you know, you're kind of relying on, you know, I know a guy who knows a guy in some cases. I mean, it's just like having, like, regular friends, right? Like, obviously, if I stop streaming completely, you and I are going to be in touch. And you'll know, and presumably, like, if people wanted to, you know, to know what's going on with me, they would be able to talk to you, and we would work out some other means of communication. But, okay, this isn't a huge trap or anything. Wary of trap. Is it mimicry? I bet it's mimicry. You're not allowed to push that button, hombre. There's a reason he's staying. Okay, I'm gonna touch the bloodstain just to see what happens to this poor sucker. Oh, interesting. So something happens between these. I'm such an idiot. How's it going, little neutrino? Yeah, I recognize you from the photo. Thanks for stopping by. Anyway, so actually, you know what? Just because I'm on the topic here, so this announcement thing for Twitch, the big thing is that, you know, everybody's got working Twitter accounts. It's a social platform through which you are able to do things that are not Twitch. It does social media better because that is why it exists, basically. Alright, so I've got a Pharos' Lockstone. I could be stupid and use it at the far end there, or I could use it in the area that I actually wanted to use it in. Oh, you mean the announcements feature? Well, that's what I get for being a a mouthy bastard. Oh my god, there's so many of them. I genuinely don't know what to do. I guess I'll do it on this one. I hope this does what I think it does. Oh, YouTube gaming so far. Nice. And this is your first adventure into YouTube gaming. I hope you like it, little Neutrino. I mean, I think it's a better streaming platform than Twitch, personally. But that's what we've been talking about, so... yeah, the big thing here is that it's clearly in Twitch's interests to keep you on the platform as long as possible. And if that means, you know, taking what would have been Twitter time and turning that into Twitch time, they're going to want to do it. But the question to me as a broadcaster is, you know, why would I worry about this? You know, I think, like, you're never going to be able to get a group to work, like, to coordinate in a way like this. Because I think the advantages of defection are so large. But I think there would be a lot of sense in broadcasters saying, is like, you know what, as a group, we collectively do not want to... we do not want to use this feature because effectively what it's done is institutionalized the "Hey guys, I'm streaming" message inside of their chats, which means that, you know, I might be streaming one day and then a message, you know, Jesse Quill's streaming. Okay, you know, see ya, system. Or, you know, people don't normally say that, right? People normally just stop talking in your channel all of a sudden because a better option has come up and you've lost that viewer. Now again, is this any different from somebody seeing it on Twitter or something like that? No, not really. But the big thing is that it's built into the platform, and so it's going to inform you while you're built inside the platform there. And so at this point here, I'm saying is like, okay, well, what's the advantage to me for using this announcements feature? I mean, I suppose for that limited number of viewers of mine who would only be on the Twitch platform, don't use Twitter, and don't look for, you know, my information elsewhere, in that sense, you know, I would have an advantage. What does that look like for my demographic? Not that much. I mean, I've only been announcing these things on Twitter, and I mean, I don't think most of you guys are coming from that Twitter. I actually think most of you guys are coming from the fact that Jesse Quill does a much better job of selling my stuff than I do. So now, what are the costs to me? Well, I get into bed with Twitch even more. I am even more beholden to their rules and to their policies, because I know that if I ever want to try and escape it, you know, I'm going to be, you know, I'm not going to have any regular means of communication, all this stuff. Oh, hang on. I feel like I've gotten turned around. You know, all the traditional ways through which I've informed my viewership, through which I've kept people into this platform, are now controlled by the place. And if they decide to ban my account, well, all of a sudden, you know, all of the you know, the friendships that I've built have been annihilated. And this is probably the big thing that I don't think people realize about this feature until, you know, until something really bad happens. And it's going to happen to somebody, I can tell you that for sure. But I remember the time when I got banned for reading the history book on Twitch. Every single channel that I subscribed to, you know, all the emotes that I got used to using, all of the chats that I participated in, I wasn't able to mod. Literally, it was as if I died on Twitch. And that was over the fact that some troll decided to report the stream as radio content, and of course now they've updated the terms of use to deal specifically with the kind of stream that I do so well. And okay, so that didn't. All right, so I just literally wasted all of those. Oh my god! That's where I was supposed to go. If I'd just been watching. Oh, Neutrino came because of my tweet. Sorry. Yeah, I agree. And sorry, guys, I've not been 100% on chat just because I've been trying to concentrate on the game. But, like, basically, so here's the thing, right? Like, whatever, Twitch is going to do their own stupid stuff, right? But this is the big thing, is like, you know, it could be, you know, so far as I can tell, the only reason why the channel was reported was because of a troll. It could be any set of very foolish reasons or that. And all of a sudden, you know, all of your social contacts vanish, right? Now, the thing about Facebook is, like, let's consider sort of the template for social media. And you can also say Twitter. The only way where you get bans on YouTube or Twitter is when you put out content that is, you know, considered to be against the terms of use. And the terms of use are specifically related to your social activity, right? So if you start harassing someone on one of these platforms, that's when you get banned. That means that your behavior in the social sphere determines your ability to operate in that sphere. So the idea here is that, you know, I might be really nice to Jess on Facebook or something like that, but if I turn out to be just this horrific stalker, who's, you know, no end of problem to some other woman, some other guy, you know, then there's a very reasonable case to be said as, like, we don't allow that on this platform and you're out. Now, consider that Twitch, you've got a few different things that you can do. You might be a broadcaster. You might be a chatter. Maybe somebody decided to take you really personally in a chat and file a complaint. All of a sudden, again, your broadcast is down until you can get the stuff sorted out with support. There's many different things where you can have potential infringement, and any one of those things can annihilate your social activity. That's the really scary thing about getting too invested with Twitter. I'm almost certainly going to have a boss fight here, so that's why I actually think people should be very suspicious of that service. All right, before I go on the boss fight, let me just catch up with everybody. RP3KA, so sorry that I didn't say hi to you earlier. I'm very thankful that Jessie Quill is actually, you know, being a better mod than I am in her chat. What else do we have? Oh, and actually it just occurred to me that Little Neutrino stuck his tongue out because he came because of my tweet, so... Hey, Ewok! Good to see you again. Wedgie has a YouTube gaming app on your phone. You get alerts when I go live. Oh, that's beautiful, Wedgie. That's great to hear. And I'm glad you... So, Ewok, I mean, I know you're a streamer. Definitely let me know what you think about the quality. Is Honeybot banned here? It is not. Total Biscuit did it. And Little Neutrino says, from my perspective, Twitch only cares about keeping people on the site, no loyalty to their partners. They just... Yeah, exactly. Sir Wedgie found a panda emote. Well, Jessie Quill, I am not entirely sure photos of my chest are quite the same as what I imagine yours must be. But, I'm willing to give it a try, you know. Is chest hair a thing? Do people still like this? Is it like the 70s again? Alright. Hello, doggies. The quality is great, you're about to say, but you wanted to put the A-plant first. Whoa! Royal Rat Authority. Oh my god, this is so scary! I kind of want a homeward bone and like just say, can we try this again? I feel like I should just be ignoring the ads. Like I do on Twitch. You posted your boobs and lost 10 followers? Oh, no, this is... I'm so dead. That was so clumsy. Okay, so guys, if you ever wondered how not to do a Dark Souls boss fight, that is the way. So I think the answer here is we just... Alright, well this is gonna be a short fight. So now that I know they make me toxic, I'm not gonna do that again. If you ever casted where you could hear your voice, you would never get followers. Oh, that's fine. We can always just mute you. The nice thing about this one is there's at least that, like, warm-up part. You know, I think I actually have a ranged weapon now that I think of it. It's probably not enough to kill them in one shot, so I think I'm just gonna dance around. Okay, good. Oh, I'm still toxic, damn it! Let's go and die somewhere peacefully. You're gonna move to a mixer setup so you can sound like Barry White? I kind of wonder what my voice would sound like augmented. Actually, that's another thing I'm kind of curious about is the Darkest Dungeon guy. I'm genuinely not sure if that is the natural sound of his voice or if it's a little augmented, because sometimes when I listen to it, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like that's been touched up a little bit. And other times I'm like, no, that's probably the way his voice really sounds like. So the jury's still out on that one for me. Yeah, there's toxicity again. So basically I can't get hit by those. I can't flail around. I need to... I basically need to take them one at a time, but that's so hard because of the rat god. Yeah, I'm not saying like he sounds like a, you know, a teenager going through puberty in real life, but see, I know people say that, but I've heard some really impressive voice work from people. I'm gonna get toxicked again. Even if I just back off for a little while and let it run. God damn it! Okay, I gotta run to the... But yeah, I've heard some pretty diverse vocal ranges. And like, I'm assuming that people are not born with voices that can do like those massive ranges. And I mean, there's a career around sounding like certain actors, so you can do their re-records. Please, System Chuck, can you stop being toxic? Yeah, Jesse Cool, it's feeling pretty toxic in here. Okay, I haven't gotten hit once. Oh, you son of a bitch! Oh! That otherwise would have been so good. I sound like a very masculine 20-year-old girl. I mean, this is just sad. I don't really know if I want this on YouTube right now. I'm not dead, that's the important thing. I'm about to be, though. Why will you ban everyone? Oh. Yeah, that comment. I wouldn't blame you. I mean, I kind of want to use an effigy so I can get my health back up, but not until I've actually figured out how this boss works. Like, I'm almost wondering... I mean, with the toxicity, I kind of have to deal with those. God. Yeah, I think I just gotta go like a crazy person. Not good. I'm not dead yet. I'm gonna get toxic. No, I'm not. Gonna hurt. I'm still not dead yet, so Estus. All right, time to man fight. Please, no more man fighting. Just does so much damage. Heal up, otherwise this is over. Damn it. Hey, skeleton. Okay, well at least I got the night or the rats down. It's really the combination of the two that's causing me all the grief. Because that thing will take you, he'll like hit you for all of your stamina, which is problem number 1. And then if you don't block the, yeah, so I'm gonna probably wind up toxic again. Okay, now this is actually going to be really, really bad for getting my souls back. I was banned on Twitch, Joshua. AKA Skeleton Killman. I'm also just kidding, actually. No, I'm doing this on YouTube because it looks better. Run away, you fool! Okay, good start. I hate you, rat. The good news is if I do this 15 more times, I don't have to worry about the rats anymore. There's gotta be a smarter way for me to do this fight. I can't ignore the rats. Well, wait a minute. Maybe I can because his attacks will knock them out. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna bother getting my health back. Okay, well, that didn't work out. Well, I mean, Jesse Quill, one of the reasons why I'm struggling on this part is because I'm very stubborn in how I play. I usually don't want to deviate from my playstyle, and this is very clearly a boss that requires me to do something different. What's the delay like here usually? You're out Chromecast, so you can't really tell since it's delayed more than usually. Less than 10 seconds. Okay. That's good to know, because I remember the one time that I did it with, like, L.A. Noire, the delay was really good. This is going to be an orderly murder. Damn it! I think I figured it out. Played Bloodborne. It's a great game to get your feet wet in the Souls series. Nonsense! You start with Dark Souls 1 like everybody else. I think I'm getting this. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I have ideas. Concerned Ape should call me. Okay, that's bad. Yep, I'm done. But you can sort of see how this pattern works, right? As long as I'm able to do a kill, a bounce back, a kill, a bounce back. By the way, I really love how you Canadianize Bloodborne, Jesse. And if Bloodborne's too hard, you know, I'll gladly take your PS4 and your copy of Bloodborne off of you. I'll gladly get that enjoyment. Okay, so kill, bounce back, kill, bounce back. That's the thing where it falls apart. Those last two are what's taking me out. Bloodborne looks so much better than Bloodborne. I agree. It's the way this English. It's the way this language was designed to be written. But might still be recoverable, but it's going to be touch and go for a little bit. Okay, take this chance to heal. Oh, damn it. That's such bad timing. I think I'm done. Yeah. Both are acceptable. Color is the Canadian and British way of speaking, or of typing, and color without the U is the American way of speaking. By the way, this is what my character looks like on full hollowing. It's kind of like me in real life, actually. There's definitely an argument for not having all of this armor. Actually, you know what? It's the lightest armor I can equip. Anything that'll keep me below 30 I'm interested in. This will be great for stamina recovery. Giving myself too much credit? How would you know, Jesse Quill? And this is mostly, I'm actually a little bit hopeful and hoping there's a video somewhere. That's bad because he's not in my field of vision. Ooh, ugly. I'm not talking about my character in full hollowing. Oh no, this is going to be so hard to get my souls back. Amazingly, this is actually still working out. Oh, I tried to drink my flask. Okay, I'm actually gonna run with this this armor outfit. That worked shockingly well. If people stalk YouTube well enough, they'll have video footage. You're also too tipsy. This is too public to answer the question the way. What are you talking about? Okay. Pro tips. I am not Google. I do not know how to answer your technical problems on Google. I have not had a problem watching streams on this. I'm sorry if you are. But I cannot help you with these. Hey, Des. Like, if I recall, Skeleton Killman, don't you, like, even on Twitch, always complain about the fact that it's buffering? Thank you, Jess. Am I secretly CGP Grey? I have no idea who that is. If this is a person who loses his temper over the weirdest things, then yes. Yes, I am. Okay, that's gonna suck. Ah! I always get hit by that second strike. Oh, this is really neat. Sorry guys, I'm just checking something out here. There we go. You like the heartbeat? This is definitely going to be a short one. It does a heartbeat animation, which was neat. Okay. See, I kind of want to get the gaming app now, but the... by the way, I know the stream name is Correcting Idiocy, but I think at this point I'm committing several different types of idiocy. But basically... my phone is really old, so I can't put it on my phone. And I don't use my iPad for watching YouTube, so... Okay, so even letting them hit me with my shield up causes toxicity. Take my anger out. Okay, so I gotta remember why I went to this build, and it was so I could dodge like a champion. So it's going to be... I think the way for me to do this one to start off with is to... not to do more than one attack for every dodge that I do. I realize this is probably like the worst kind of content that you can be watching right now, but I'm determined to win. Oh, this is bad. Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to get my souls! I'm an idiot. At the very least, I could have like homeward boned and spent them. That's it's probably a level that I missed. Oh well. I got me 288 souls. I don't care who knows it. Oh, that sucks. I was looking the wrong way. Alright, the one thing I will say, so apparently one of my classmates was talking to me about this, and apparently for PvP they don't use soul levels anymore, they use soul memory. So apparently it counts souls that you've earned, but like it doesn't really care what you've done with them. So apparently it's going to treat me as a lot more experienced player than I really am. That's the one drawback to losing those. But what I need to do, I need to... And the nice thing about losing souls sometimes is that you get a little less uptight about certain strategies. Like you're not worrying about like potentially losing stuff. Again, I always get hit by that second attack. Yeah, and I tried to heal up. Okay, so Number one, dodge more. Number two, don't do anything until he does a second attack. And that's probably because you have more than one account, little neutrino. Homeward Bone is an item that will teleport you back to the last bonfire. So if I wanted to say it's like, oh god, this boss is too hard, boss ahead, try close range battle, I don't think that's been working for me, friend. So yeah, basically, I can't go through this fog gate to get out, but a Homeward Bone will allow me to go back, so. Well, you have now identified why I don't have mods on my Twitch channel. It's precisely because I don't like having that conversation. Even jokingly, you actually very specifically identified why there are no mods in my channel. There's a Real Skeleton Killman into your Discord question. There's a very specific reason why you can't chat in YouTube gaming. You're timed out. That's not what you said when I applied for mod, Jesse Quill. Oh wait, I didn't apply. See, this is one thing that I think is kind of a little bit funny about the mod thing. For Kalusha's chat, she was... Oh yeah, I can't... You know what? I should just take my shield down as well. But yeah, so like she was short on mods and I got asked to be in, and then I had like the mod ship taken away the next stream, which is completely fine because it's not, you know. Oh, and you know what? I don't... Okay. Complete overhaul here. So let's I think increasing physical attack is the way to go on this. I can't remember if this boosts... Increases HP slightly. What else can I do with this? I mean, none of these really... Oh, this is actually not a bad one. I'm curious, this probably isn't bugged, but I want to try. So what? I had poise, physical attack, recovery speed. Okay. So I don't think... I mean, it's... I don't think I'm going to be hitting that rat thing enough to break its poise. So we're going to start by removing all of these. Sorry, I'll finish this story in a second, but I want to rework my build a little bit. just gonna try some random stuff for a little bit. So basically what I'm trying to do right now is get my, get sort of the best armor that I can that'll keep me below 30%. And, actually the other thing that I can do, I don't think this will be viable, but I can put this in my other hand. So basically I can use my shield, what used to be my shield, to back up. So I equipped a ring which will give me a little bit more HP while hollow. I sort of adjusted it so I can maximize my damage output, and because my shield is effectively useless because of that toxicity, I've gone so that I can get sort of my maximum... Actually, you know what? There's one more thing I might be able to do. So let's pretend that I don't have... Yeah, why did I use the stone ring? Let's see if the... Okay, we've already got one of these. Okay, so I won't do poise damage, and instead... Let's see if I can extract a little bit more... A little more utility out of these items. Again, I want to keep below 30%. That's just sort of an arbitrary goal I set for myself. There we go. So I've got sort of my maximum stamina regain. I've got maximum damage. And in this case, I'm going to try and be a little more mobile during this fight. Or sorry, equipment load. So if you take in the bottom right-hand corner here, Jess, you'll see that I've got a carrying capacity right now of 85.2. Now, below 30% is purely arbitrary on for me, but the idea here is that it's going to maximize my roll distance, and it's also going to improve the speed with which I recover stamina. And I think probably I could show this to you. I've got Vignerian. I'll just like put on all my heaviest stuff. So this is the most extreme version. But if you take a look at that recovery, and then I'll just drop all of this. And then take a look at that stamina recovery. You can see a very substantial difference as far as... I don't remember what... Oh yeah, I had the Vengarl's helm. Yeah, this is too heavy. But yeah, basically I'm attempting to maximize my... maximize my ability to recover stamina and stuff like that. Modding on Twitch is much more than just doing timeouts. Yeah, so like here's the big thing. Like with like one of the things I felt bad about was I was modded a little bit longer than I should have been. So like when I do my whole like make it rain chat or like just say the usual sarcastic stuff that I do, I wound up feeling a little bit bad because in some senses my words carried a little bit more authority than they should have. And so, you know, she unmodded me at some point, you know, said thank you for her service and so on and so forth. But I wasn't bothered at all by it because I like hanging out in her chat and like having a good time. And like the big thing is that like when I mod for a channel, I feel bad if I can't be there and help out. If I miss a timeout, I actually feel kind of bad that I missed that and things like that. So, I would love it if Twitch had a way, or YouTube for that matter, had a way of at least having the option of... Oh, come on! Okay, so I gotta be smarter about how I dodge. Alright, I'm just getting... Yeah, that was embarrassing. All that planning and no implementation. But yeah, personally, I would prefer it if you could do mods without having a symbol. Because there's, I mean, the problem with what Twitch has done is that if you're a subscriber, you get like a reward of having those little sub buttons beside you, right? I don't know why I did that. It's not like I want these, 960 souls. Well, the good news is I didn't get poisoned. Okay, I'm getting better. And I'm not dead yet. I am now. But yeah, as it is, what they've done is they've created... The mod badge is just another... I mean, effectively what it is when you're in a non-partnered chat, mod is effectively the closest thing you can get to a sub button. So... The problem with the way that system is set up is that they've created the same... they've created an incentive in one sense and information in another. Like, so you don't... you don't want that sub button so that you can convey information other than, like, status to people. And so, that, because it's a status thing, it's an incentive. Oh, I got caught by that again. Yeah, so, I mean, is that really a solution, though? That's like, okay, I'm going to log into my other account. And I mean, at that point, it really means that you're no longer... Like, that puts so much more work on the mods who already have to do work on the stream. I'm just gonna work out my frustrations on them. Hello, Teresa Williams. I am sorry I don't recall through the, Okay. Coid, I'm sorry. Yeah, a lot of people get caught by that. It's just the Google Plus settings. I'm personally set up for to come up as System Chalk, but I know people have been having some difficulty with getting that set up. If you prefer not to use your name on that, I completely understand. We also chat in Discord, although it seems like most people have opted to use the YouTube chat for the moment. Oh, that sucks. But I'm sure a few people here could tell you how they changed their name around. I mean, the other thing that I'll say here regarding the workaround, like, the problem is that I'm not entirely sure that because some people feel like they want a status symbol, that the mods should have to go and do extra work. Because people are going to feel, put out, well, why didn't they pick me as mod? I just wish people would, like, relax and stop making people feel uncomfortable because, they wanted to help out the stream. I mean, it's hard enough to find good mods as it is. It'd be nice if people didn't feel like they had to, I don't even know what the proper phrase is, but, like, deal with an inquisition every time they've been modded in a new channel. I think this is death, but I'm not. I might be able to get out of this. Okay, nice. This is basically Sif all over again. And you know what? I just lost this because I couldn't kill that one rat. Okay. Fighting between his legs is the way to go. So Wedgie, I'm a little curious with that emote. Was that something that you just discovered, or was that something that you you made for YouTube? Because that's really neat. If they, it's really neat. So you mean like video quality wise, right? That's actually the reason why I'm doing. It's the reason why I'm doing Dark Souls on YouTube, because the fact that I can stream at 60 frames per second makes all the difference. And this is such a beautiful game. I really wanted to put on the best show that I could for it. Okay, I need to smarten up and not get hit for the next little bit. Ah! Work out my frustrations! I'm glad to hear. By the way, I will say, so like obviously I am going nuts when I indirectly become YouTube customer service and when there's like complaints about the chat stuff and that, but I will also say there's a flip side to that, and when you guys comment on the quality, that makes all of the frustration worth it, because I definitely put a lot of effort into making this, like to try and make this a good looking show, and you know, when you have a very inactive chat, it's hard to gauge, you know, how people really think about it. I got so greedy on that. But it's really gratifying when people see the like when people comment on the difference. So I really appreciate that. I want to keep calling you Teresa. I should call you Clay. I mean, it's not, obviously there's several people who've commented on it, but like the recognition of the quality improvement really means a lot. Yeah, I agree completely, Jesse. I mean, like I said earlier, right? The fact that there's either, you know, the joke or the, you know, the request or something like that, it makes people, you know, who already have to have a different chat experience from other people, it makes, you know, it makes the modding experience a little bit worse than it already is. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, and it was funny because like Jesse Quill and I have talked quite a bit about some of the things that I think streamers, like content creators, should focus on. And the big thing is that the carrot of partnership is a really powerful bargaining tool for Twitch. Like, they seem to get people to do just about anything by just dangling that carrot of partnership in front of people. And so I'm not interested, like, I'm never going to be partnered. And I'm definitely very interested in putting on the best show that I can. And I mean, let's consider some of the other things that that YouTube will let me do. I can start doing those history reading streams again. I could do some economics on streaming. There's so many more options available to me on this platform that I thought a nice way to start would be to come up with like a little bit of an exclusive. So I said, okay, well, you know, Dark Souls is a great looking game. I don't know why I keep attacking backwards when I'm supposed to be targeting these rats. That is a default emoji. Very nice. Look at you and your mastery of the emotes. But yeah, like it's I think there's a lot of opportunities on a platform like this, and I gave a message in the Team Panda Slack basically saying it's like, you know, if you guys want to try YouTube, I think one of the big problems that people run into is sort of the network effects, and you know, they've gotten so used to having everybody on, you know, on Twitch that it can be scary to, you know, try and, you know, try a different platform. And so I said, you know, anybody, you know, it doesn't even matter if I don't know you that well. Anybody who wants to try out YouTube, I will make an effort to, you know, give you a recognition, because at that point, all of a sudden, the network effects are weaker. Like, see what happened on this stream, right? It took Jesse Quill one tweet, and all of a sudden, there's a lot of familiar faces from Jess's channel inside here, and we're having a good time. I'm having a good time, at least. I love having an active chat like this. And so, it's very easy to break down that illusory, you know, barrier of just, you know, well, I'd stream on YouTube, but nobody would be there to watch. It's a complete lie that that's the case. We've had people who don't watch Twitch stop by and have a good time. So, in that sense, and by the way, I'm sorry guys, I know there's nothing really going on in the game right now, so I'm letting me I'm just letting this, I'm letting my opinions just flow freely while I'm figuring out this boss. Yeah. And Twitch is definitely, saturated, but I think a little bit more importantly, they're very restrictive. So like they always, whenever they're at a con or something like that, they always talk about how they've got this, you know, wonderful thing by accident. It's the sort of like, you know, false humility that you kind of expect from a corporate presentation. But the fact of the matter is they want to control what is on that platform very, very heavily. And it's not at all in the favor of content creators. So, I mean, for me, it's like, okay, well, you want me to stream on your platform? Give me a reason to do it, right? Like, don't assume that you're the only game in town, because I'm going to, you know, I'm going to act like I am the thing you need to keep surviving, which is true. I mean, the catch is that I'm not a very big streamer, so they don't feel the sting if okay, this could be the win. Yeah, this is exactly the Sith fight all over again. I just need to stop being a bit of a spaz on the... Oh, okay. Okay, I gotta drink up. He's gonna hit me. Sorry guys, I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit. I just need to concentrate. Okay, I have to drink. Ooh, that's bad. You know what? I should have buffed up. Ooh, he knows. He knows I figured him out. Oh, that was so stupid of me. I should have dodged. Okay. Ugh, this could be it. Damn it. That was otherwise such a good run. All right, I'm just gonna catch up on chat for a little bit. There's somewhat disadvantages. The restrictiveness is very swayed. So many components are put into the thought process as to what should be restricted. Yeah, absolutely. Like, the big thing is that it's just because there's an arbitrary enforcement of the rules, right? So if a big streamer does something, generally they turn a blind eye. So like, you know, a lot of the sexual content stuff kind of gets skirted quite a bit, so to speak, because the streamers are really big, right? It draws a lot of revenue, and it's, you know, it's very foolish to, you know, to kind of bite the hand that feeds in that regard. And this is not a gamer girl thing. That is the worst possible argument somebody could make, right? That is both a men and women thing. You would not see a very large consequence for a big partnered male streamer streaming shirtless. Actually, I think that ban is gone anyway. But in ye old days when that wasn't permitted. Okay. We're getting somewhere. Ooh. Oh, that sucks. But yeah, so like, or it could be, you know, the gray area stuff. Like, the ASMR stuff I know is going to be a really big gray area. And so if a big streamer does it, it's going to become more permissible. And if a smaller streamer does it, they're probably going to wind up banned originally if somebody wants to report them. And so what it does is it's unlike any other industry where you have like a first mover who does something revolutionary and they get all the rewards. What it does is it basically lets the lower end streamers like myself and like I won't really call Jessie Quill the lower end because she's definitely a big presence on Twitch, at least, you know, by my standards. But basically it means that you can have a lot of people doing innovative things, and they're sort of trying it all out. Some of it's going to fail, some of it's going to be successful. But basically it's going to be kind of this big experiment of what kind of content people want to watch. And the stuff that's successful obviously is going to get adopted by bigger streamers, and at that point it's going to become a little bit more acceptable. But all along the way, the people who are innovating and are potentially, like, you know, going into some gray areas of the terms of service, they potentially pay the ultimate price. They potentially have their accounts removed. And so it's a big dilemma in my view. And like, obviously I'm giving the really strong case against Twitch. The fact of the matter is, it is still my primary streaming platform. But the big thing is that I've always felt that criticism should be of a form that leads towards improvements. The one message about all of this is, it's like, let content creators focus on what they do best, making content. Stop having these very arbitrary rules of saying that, you know, we're going to have, you know, music festivals be permitted, but not reading streams. You know, we're going to let one type of programming be okay, but maybe this other kind of programming isn't quite Twitch enough for us. You know, we'll do Bob Ross because we're doing a creative channel, but any other thing that doesn't quite fall under creative is still something that you can't broadcast on Twitch. And it's like any other business environment that you work in. The fewer complications that you run into, then the better you're going to perform. And, you know, the community will flourish, right? I think it's very safe to say that the history streams did not stop because people didn't like them. The history streams stopped because somebody somewhere said, I'm going to decide what's better for you. And I don't think that's, you know, to be honest, I don't think that's a call that Twitch should make. I think that's a call that you, the viewer, should make. And you can let me know by watching and supporting content that you like. So, but like I said, I mean, there's enough Twitch cheerleaders that I can give like the harsher side of the criticism, because I know there's going to be people to back up and take Twitch's side of the argument. So. Car repair is allowed on Twitch because, you know, that's creative. You make more back from casting than a lot of full-timers? That's horrifying and awesome. By the way, now that I know you're raking in all those mad esports dollars, Jesse Quill, I'm totally gonna be like bugging you for. It's like, oh, you know, I need this new textbook. The make it rain in chat always helps. Yeah. I mean, Jess gave me the source of my last few highlights in the form of XCOM 2. I don't think I could have possibly asked for a better gift from her, so I've definitely seen my share of that sweet, sweet sub money. I really should do... I should do more of those reading style streams again. It's just I'm so bit like right now I'm putting off actually an economic history paper that I've been wanting to do for a while to play this infuriating game. The problem is that I've gotten a taste of success. I know what beating this boss looks like. So okay, drink up. I think I'm dead. Yeah. We got so close to beating the boss. If I can get those 4 rats, I'm pretty sure I get the boss. Yes, you are no longer timed out, Skeleton Killman. Please do your best not to re-enter that state. Oh, you know what? I might wind up using these, actually. So, we don't need Homeward Bones anymore. I don't see any point in using the life gems. Okay. So, if you need to talk about this further, we can talk in private, but basically it would be the fact that we had already talked about, you know, the issues with YouTube and how specifically there weren't things I could do to fix it. And then you decided the most helpful contribution at that point would be shut up, Chalk, when I'm making a very legitimate point about the fact that you have complained literally every single one of my streams about the buffering, and so haven't really added any content that's helpful to people. So if that's how you're going to respond to basically a bit of advice that maybe the boy who cried wolf doesn't get paid attention to as much, I think that is timeout worthy. I'm sorry if you feel differently. Yes, Jesse Quill, you have. I was actually going to say not just XCOM, but I've also wound up with Resident Evil that we're going to wind up co-casting together with, along with... God, how many other games have you given me this month? Okay, good start. Really good start. Mistakes are bound to happen. I am gonna get pounded by this thing in a second. Oh, maybe not. Okay, I really need to separate these two. Ah. Okay. Yeah, didn't dodge in time. Whether or not you actually were telling me to shut up, and whether or not I took it as such, there is a certain level... Okay. You will notice that there are different kinds of interactions that can happen between chatters. Jesse Quill is allowed to say some things that maybe other people aren't because we have built a rapport. And so when somebody who has established a history of complaining a lot tells somebody to shut up, or tells somebody, you know, I don't like this, it means quite a bit of a different thing from somebody who has sort of established a reputation of being very supportive Okay, there we go. Ah, damn it. That's greed that might actually cost me on this fight. Okay, drink up. This is the point where I should use one of my buffs. Jesus Christ. I don't know what to do. It's a magic weapon now. Oh shit! I haven't touched him once, and I've wasted a buff. You wonder who'll get yelled at more for dying? Well, if this stream is any indication, Des. Alright. So I don't want to use my last of anything on this. But yeah, anyways, so context matters a lot. If somebody has a reputation for just constantly complaining about stuff, it means something very different from, you know, somebody who has established themselves as a very long-time supporter, you know, poking fun. At range, I think I'm dead on this one, but we'll do our best. Thank you, Jesse Quill. What a shockingly mature view. This looks as crisp and HD as Bloodborne. I mean, I think Bloodborne's a great looking game. That's why I'm a little mad I don't have a PlayStation 4. For the longest time, we thought this was Dark Souls 3. Oh man, Dark Souls 3 looks even better. Well, you know, Jessie Quill's just a baby. She's trying to figure out all these Twitchima-thingies and working in a real job with a real office and interacting with all these big professional streamers who definitely don't behave in the most appalling ways. She's definitely doing a very admirable job of it, if I do say so myself. I'm sorry, Jessica Quill, but I take offense to that. No! No, 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 no. No! I don't even want to joke about that. Unless that is directly coming from Sony and has involved no expense to anyone other than, you know, other than Sony themselves. If I were to find out there was... Look at me killing all those rats. I'm like the Pied Piper of Hamlin Town. Your father betrayed you! You see that dodge? You see that dodge? Uh-oh. Alright. Now you get to see my serious face, chat. My less serious face now. I think it's time for me to run. Damn it! Wait, is this sarcastic? Never. Yes, the offense at your community manager comment was very sarcastic. Well, that wasn't very good. Man, has it really been 2 hours of this crap? All I wanted was one of them fragrant branches. Oh, you know what? Pie of Reckoning got to see Ponce probably do this at Souls level 1. He's probably laughing his ass off at me right now. This is gonna suck. I'm alive, though. And that's what matters. Okay, I gotta heal. I'm dead. Well, that's fine, Pie of Reckoning, because you know as soon as I go back into that sweet, sweet Ponce chat, I hold the keys, and I open the doors, and I decide who goes in and who doesn't. Until he demods me for abuse. But I think he's been pretty clear. I'm like a Mexican police officer. I kind of like decide to do what I want to do. I can take bribes from, you know, whoever I want to take bribes from. It's a pretty sweet gig. Sacre bleu! I'm gonna get hit in the back. Oh! But I'm alive. They call me the Dodge Master. Only 79 damage, right? Estus brand flasks. Fire kills rats, right? Yikes. Rats kill. What are you doing? Why did he throw that at the wall? Ponce is a really good League of Legends streamer, but he's been doing. So first of all, he's Japanese, so he has been doing a Dark Souls 3 playthrough. Yeah, he's a Vancouver streamer. He was actually at the very first Twitch Vancouver meetup when it was like 4 people around a table at EXP. Alright, this is gonna cost me. Oh man, I got all 4 of them. That's so badass. Ow. Okay, I'm gonna go pick up that item. Well, at least there's no lack of those lock stones. Okay, I'm also gonna heal when I get between his legs. I've been trying to use this. Oh, okay, this is gonna hurt bad. Yeah. Can't really afford to do that. In fact, I don't think I've ever successfully dodged that once. So let's try a different approach. Oh god. Okay, fire I can work with. Too bad I wasted 2 of them. Ow. Oh, come on! That is such a good start, too. I'm thinking... Okay, I think I just need to keep it a little more simple. I don't think the buffs that I'm giving to these weapons are really accomplishing much. So, let's just work with what we have. Do I at least get my souls? Nope. Yeah, I think at this point I just need to stick to my knitting. Play, you know, focus on killing those rats. It was really cool that I could get 4 of those in one go. I don't think that will happen again. Yeah, especially when he does that. I got a ridiculous amount of damage done to him on that, though. No, you know what? That's it. I was thinking of something, but it'll be... It was dumb. I think this just went pear-shaped. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Let's just run and get our heal. Okay. So this is the shape of a win. Definitely need to be smart about what I do down below here, though. So we're not gonna buff anything. We're gonna go for the guaranteed hits, and just a little bit at a time is all that I need to take out this boss. Okay, I gotta heal up. Oh. God. Oh my God, I was alive! That was really upsetting. I thought I was dead. So first of all, I think it's kind of crappy that he hit me on the tail end of that. You should be safe beneath him. But, anyways, we won't focus on it. How did I get toxic? I agree, Des. One bit of advice I will give you about GTA is set aside about an hour to do the infuriating introductory missions that are not skippable. I did not have my best streaming moment when I was trying to play co-op with people and found out that Rockstar really felt that I should see all this content they made for me. Whether I wanted to see it or not. Okay, this is a really great start to this fight. I can't aim for shit. Okay, that's fine. We just heal up when we're behind him. Oh, I can't hit the broadside of a barn. Yikes. I think I just go for the heal on this. Even if it means giving up a bit of damage. I'm gonna get hit. Yeah. It's bad. I'm not sure if not locking on is the way to go for this one. I sort of feel like I've been missing about as much as I hit. What the fuck?! That's a final fuck you from that boss. Oh, you goddamn. I'm so glad I'm not wearing my best armor. Ah, that boss. I never want to fight that again. I'm never going to play New Game Plus specifically because of that fucking boss. Feels good to win though. So. Just equipping all the gear I had before. Out of these shields, only one of them. Oh, two of them give 100%. Nope, more than that. But the others are just super heavy. All right. I will accept all your congratulations. Wait a minute, did the one time that Skeleton Killman said RIP actually be the one that I won? The intro plus trying to invite friends to co-op is terrible at the beginning of GTA 5. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, like, it's a good game. Like, I definitely, I think it's well done. I just think it's insane the way that they make it really, really hard to play that game with friends. Anyways, Friends IRL are all from communities here. Nice. Barely talked to college and high school friends. Now they're the only ones who are way into games. Like, yeah. I believe so, Coid. I don't know for sure. Oh yes, as is tradition. Ah! And in fact, because that was so difficult. Welcome, chat. And what else can we do? We are also pumped up. Woo, woo, woo. And apparently everybody hated my pseudo Wookiee laugh or roar, so please don't ever do that again. I'm sorry you all didn't like my war face, okay? Let's see what the comments say. It's probably, I hate this boss, please don't ever make me do this again. Try happiness. Hurrah for guts. Hurrah for revenge. Hurrah for rolling. Gorgeous view, therefore praise the sun. Hurrah for victory. Beating to a pulp. Okay. I will make sure not to do these things directly into the mic, so I can do something along the lines of, it's like, welcome to Jesse Quill, and also our very beloved Sir Wedgie. And that's what I get for not looking when I'm walking away from the stream to be a goof. We'll just pretend that never happened, okay, chat? Praise the sun, and then friend ahead. What was that sound? I killed your boss. You are free.
Leave this place, human. We have no time for thy kind.
My name is
Humans
Michael
bring
Caine.
nothing but filth. Is that a rat tail, human?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Most one of mine rat burrows conquered. This will not go unnoticed. Rejoice, for the right to serve me is now thine. Since thou art human still, permit me ask, wilt thou thy human soul surrender and pledge thyself to me? Swearest thou by the sweet-tempered sludge that laps at our bosoms?
I just wish I knew what the Rat King Covenant gave me. No, that boss was a dick.
Humans are all alike. Get thee gone. We will tolerate thy stench no longer. Thou returnest. I am not unkind. Shouldst thou forbear thy ways, audience shall be thine. Swearest thou to serve me true? Then we need consort no longer.
Very nicely written dialogue for that man. That rat, whatever. You dirty rat. That's all there really was to that, huh? I mean, I've got a ton of those lockstones now. Let's just go to the bonfire and use these souls, shall we? Alright, well, I hope that boss fight... I mean, obviously, while I work out a boss fight, the conversation tends to be very, not game-related. But,
Bearer of the curtain, seek souls. Larger, more powerful souls.
I don't know. Hopefully that
Seek the
final
king.
version was
That is the only way.
worthwhile.
Lest this land swallow you whole, as it has so many others.
I'm basically upgrading my equipment load until it stops giving me like 1.5, or until I get to like some stupid amount, which is like, okay, this is clearly more than I'm ever going to have to use. I am going to use one of these human effigies. And that's just because you'll notice that my health was down to half now that I've been restored to human. Oh yeah, and you had to see me naked when I was in hollow form, so ladies. Oh, you know what? It looks we're missing someone. Should I just like keep doing this rotation until everyone gets back? You know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll get a particularly scenic view so that you can see like the background too. And we'll get away from the blood stain just so you know we don't obstruct the view. Is there sunlight I can be in? Yeah, there we go. There we go. There's some sunlight too. So we'll just admire this view. There we go. I don't know, do we make this kind of like a wall of flame thing where I only wear the tools of my trade? This is known as the Putin special. This is actually not a bad look. If I really wanted to fashion Souls, I'd maybe like skip the helmet, just because this is not a bad look for this character. But this is Dark Souls, so I actually want to live, and so my handsome face is gonna disappear behind my helmet. All right, I hope that was edifying for all of you, chat. Let's go back to this horrifying place. Ordeal's End. Yeah, right. Alright, so I got a couple of those Pharaoh stones from... Screw you, rat. You know, these mastodons are actually kind of a treat now that I fought the rat, the Rat King. Being summoned is a great what? So is this, what, is this PvP? Presumably it was. I wasn't sure. I've been vanquished, returning to my... Okay, so apparently... Oh, okay. I think I get this. I hope that didn't cost me my humanity. I'm going to be a little upset if it did. Nope, I'm still human. So, it seems like that is just a minor annoyance. But next time I get summoned as a gray spirit, I know I am not helping somebody, so I'm gonna go do my whole kill them thing. Well, if I invaded someone, it was not my doing. That was very terrible PvP on my part, but... But that's actually a neat little invasion mechanic, because like I don't normally like doing PvP, but at least that one's a little less like costly for me. That somebody says, yeah, I want to fight somebody, and you know, technically I didn't ask to fight that guy, but there was no real consequence to me. I was like a minor inconvenience for somebody who, you know, who wanted to fight somebody. So... maybe that's a Rat Covenant thing. At which point I definitely do not want to be a member of the Rat Covenant if I'm having people randomly enter my games as combatants. But Mastodon Great Shield, huh? As always, we do our Mimic test. It is very traditional for heroes to punch a chest with their bare hands to test the Mimic. Now here's where things get a little strange for me, because I feel like I've gone through everything in this area. Oh, that's right, hang on, we were supposed to sort of clear this area out and then move on to the next part. What time is it? Oh my god, it's almost 7. Well, you know what? We're already committed, so... I'm going to... kill this hombre because I can. Oh, right, he's got his dwarf friend. Or Gearm. Ow. I kind of deserve that. Oh my! Okay, let's not lose my humanity. So the nice thing about this guy is he can be backstabbed. The not nice thing about him is he knows he can be backstabbed, so he's kind of facing forward. All I really want to do is light my torch, but... oh my... Actually, now that I think of it, right, I was talking about how it's really interesting to go into this different environment where everything's like big and heavy and you're slowed down because of the water. And yet that rat boss is the exact opposite of that. That's one that required a lot of dexterity. Holy smokes! Alright. I thought that was a backstab. Whoa! Dirty. That's a backstab. I love that move. And just so I can say I did. It's what most PvP in Dark Souls is like. Alright. Got about an hour and a half of torch life, so... Alright, I should have seen that coming. It's gonna be like the Olympics chat. Why am I doing this? I just feel a strange compulsion to light all of the areas that are not lit yet. So, those lockstones that I got, I started off with 4 at this level. I'm down to 3. The thing is, I don't know, like, there's so many of them in this whole area, and I'm not sure what any of them really do, so I'm gonna hold off on committing any more of them. When were the last Olympics? I mean, for me, I figure it's every 2 years, it feels like, because they seem to stagger the winter and the summer ones. I know we had the Olympics in Vancouver when I was, like, just starting first year, and then we had, what else? Then there was Saki after that. I feel like we're due for another Winter Olympics soon. Oh, hang on, and Jesse Quill, were you the one who said that you did exceptionally well at the biathlon? Or am I losing my mind? Because there's somebody I was talking to who said that they actually wound up doing very well in the biathlon, which is actually one of the few winter sports that I really like. Alright. If only my sword could reach! I don't know how anybody with a sword could ever be able to hit something with a... You moron. Reach the ground, it's impossible. I always think a long path like that should have traps, but it could be that that's just long like that because it allows them to load up the next level. Okay. I don't mind saying I thought that was going to be an enemy for a second. Websites say Rio. That must be a Summer Olympics. Hurrah for rolling, and then fatty. Does this mean there's going to be an angry man who comes wondering why I destroyed his worldly possessions? One sport that you never got into that was in the Olympics was the one where the kid-woman dances around with the ball. Oh god, what one is that? It's like a variation on gymnastics, I think. Hurrah for shade. See, this doesn't seem to be unfriendly. Whoa, they are! You lost to the best! Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't even know what most stuff is, like, officially an Olympic sport anymore. Chess. Chess is an Olympic sport, isn't it? Dota. Dota is an Olympic sport. Why does it keep wanting me to attack this hard-working man? Don't they know that this is the people's playthrough of Dark Souls? This is, by the way, something really neat that they introduced in Dark Souls 2 is, oh my god, piggies! The idea of having like archers in unreachable places and having to take down their sort of their hiding spots. Extreme 30-mile pogo sticking. Seems legit. Let's try and take out the pig first, and then we'll worry about. Hey, fight me! I have no idea where that guy came from, but I don't like him. Oops. Hey, another smooth and silky stone. I should talk to my little birdie friends. You've still yet to play any type of Dark Souls game at all? Anything in this genre, really? It's really... Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, it's... So, my experience with the first... I was actually thinking about this. So, Jesse Cole can tell you that the start of these Dark Souls streams was rough. Like, I definitely was very unhappy playing the game the first couple of times. And, I think when I look back on what my original experience with Dark Souls 1 was, it's actually not that different with what happened with Dark Souls 2. Oh, it's a bloodstain. So I played Dark Souls 1, and I got to like this board. It's like really close to the beginning of the game, and like couldn't beat the board. Just had no idea how to even begin taking on that enemy. Alright, hopefully I can do a dropping attack. Yeah. Points for style. Didn't have, you know, the foggiest idea of how I was going to approach this problem. I basically gave up playing. Like, I stopped playing that game for months. And I think a friend of mine, like, was really insistent about how great the game was and how it would be something I'd really enjoy. And, you know, eventually I sort of said, I was like, you know, this is kind of stupid. Like, I go and play a game which, you know, I sort of knew was going to be tough starting off, and then I get upset that I can't beat one boss and just don't move forward. It's like, how about I give myself a legitimate shot to like try and figure out this boss. Once I've done that, if I run into another boss where it's like, you know what, I just don't see the value in working so hard to beat these things, then, you know, that's fine. Then I just know that the game isn't for me. So I worked really, really hard. Eventually I got it. And right around that time, like, I started to understand a little bit more about, okay, you know what, as I put in the effort, there's going to be a return. I'm going to be able to see a little bit more. And then as I progressed, I got to see more and more interesting parts of the game, so that once I hit Anor Londo, which was a really big wall for me in terms of like being able to get stuff done, I think I'm going to take the moment to heal up. As I got to Anor Londo, which was like probably a really, really hard wall for me to get past. But because the environments were so interesting and sort of I had gotten a bit of a taste for what the game is like, that was enough for me to push forward. Yeah, that's not the first time this game does stuff like that to you, by the way. So, reactions matter. Oh, yeah, he wants to kill me. Oh, that curses me. Screw you, buddy! I am no longer the people's playthrougher. But yeah, so then I think back to Dark Souls 2. And again, at the very beginning, I was just running into these problems like dodging wasn't doing what it used to, and, you know, all this sort of stuff. And again, I was having a hard time of it. And then I got to a couple of interesting and like well-designed little areas. So I think one thing I will observe about the Dark Souls series... Man, they want my blood. Ouch. Yeah, so all this stuff seems to be cursed. Love the shadow effects. Oh crap! If I get full curse, I lose my humanity. Also, if I lose all my health, I lose my humanity, so let's not have that happen, shall we? Okay, nice. There we go. I think it's Estes time. But yeah, so I think the only thing I'll say about the Dark Souls series is I think sometimes it doesn't give you enough of the cool content up front, and so it's very easy to sort of deny yourself the opportunity to really engage with it and have a lot of fun. But I can definitely say, for me at least, the experience of going through this game, and especially going through this game without any kind of walkthrough or that, and I'm also following up with that this time, which leads to some really weird and like embarrassing mistakes sometimes. Okay, back off, because I don't want to lose humanity. I really thought that was going to be a backstab. Oh well. I'm also getting pretty dinged up on my sword. Let me out of here. I should get a homeward bone ready just in case. And I feel I can bring life gems back. There we go. Ranged weapons don't hurt either. You're a sucker for games with super detail in their areas. Probably pick up on it once you get the first game again. Yeah, I mean, so one thing I will say, Coid, the reputation the game has for its... Okay, well that was... Whoa! I really don't want to know what those are going to do to me if they catch me. This is like a living nightmare for me. Dwarf required ahead. Hey, I'm invading your home. Okay, so he used a bow on those. Are they just cool with me not, Okay. But yeah, so the reputation that this game has for difficulty is absolutely well earned. I feel like I should be able to light that. Listen to that sound. Oh my god. As soon as these things start moving, I know I'm gonna freak out. So these things are just waiting for me to open that chest. That's exactly what this message is gonna say. Be wary of bug. It's not a bug, it's an arachnid. Yep. Oh god! Ah! Oh my god, this is a nightmare! Man, what did I even pick up there? Whatever it was not worth it. Oh, well, at least they're easy to kill. There's just so many of them. Oh my god. I have to be really careful I don't fall over a cliff or something. Ooh, I don't like that being at risk. Okay, we're gonna switch to the flaming sword for a bit. But yeah, so the game has definitely, it has a reputation for difficulty, and it's well earned. I will also say what it confronts with you with, in my opinion, is fair. It's oh, Jesus Christ. Love the moveset for this sword, though. You know, I think I'm gonna use up one of my torches. Fight me! Alright, and... rubbish! Of course it was. Yeah, there are other people who are playing the game right now, actually. Oh, so I can't light this thing. Damn it. Oh, yes I can. I wonder if that scares off the spiders at all. So yeah, basically, I think like the game sort of tries to put it in the lore, and the idea is that there's sort of parallel worlds running all over the place, and so occasionally they will become close, and that's what causes you to see other people. There is almost certainly a boss behind there. So I am gonna have to... I don't want to fight it without being in like tip-top shape, so I'm gonna be a baby and go back to the bonfire. If it's a boss, I think I will fight it. I'll try to kill it, and then we'll call it for the playthrough, because I'm almost coming on to about, I think I'm at 3 hours now. But it's been really cool to have a full chat this time around. It's like I said, it's very, very encouraging to go through something like. Well, maybe this isn't a boss act. This is, by the way, look at this environment. Like, this is amazing. It definitely encourages me actually to maybe try doing these sorts of streams a little bit more during the day, at a time when people can watch. It's a little more convenient. And you know what? I don't intend to lose my humanity, let alone my souls. But let's just, let's be safe.
Bearer of the great seek them, lest this...
I wonder if I'm being wasteful by putting so much into my equipment load, but I really don't feel like that's a bad thing to have, especially because it improves the speed at which you restore. You restore your stamina. By the way, it's occurred to me I can never be a Let's Player of Dark Souls. I swear way too much when I play this game. Moron. I wonder if I can... I got one of them. It's more curse than I want to deal with. So the right one to do here is one of my spell heals. And if I'm going to be potentially going up against a boss, I want to save the Estus as much as I can. And thank you very much for saying so, Koi. Like I said, it's something that I am, in the end, I am doing it for the viewers, i.e. you. And it's hard, right? So if I sat down, like here's where I think this isn't just a streaming thing. This is I think this is a, you know, gauging customer reaction sort of thing in general. But if you sat, like, so let's imagine I sat down my chat one day and said, okay, everybody, I want to do some Dark Souls 2. Would you want me to do it on YouTube Gaming? I'm pretty sure the universal reaction would be, no, I'd rather you do it on Twitch. And that's just because it's what everybody's familiar with. And I said, it's like, you know, I think I might be able to put on a better show if I, you know, if I do it on YouTube. And, you know, I think there would be a couple of, like, you know, I'd be willing to watch you on, you know, on this platform or that platform, or, you know, it doesn't really matter, you know, as long as you're streaming or something like that. Like, it's not to say that that would be universally, I'll only watch you on Twitch, but I think overall the reaction would be somewhat negative towards the idea of streaming on YouTube, because it's an unknown quantity, and I'm asking everybody on this service that, you know, we can, you know, why are you asking me to watch on another service when, screw you, and the horse you rode in on. I'm gonna take so much damage from these things, I just know it. Oh. They are scared of fire. And I think I used up all my fire bombs, didn't I? That's very interesting. Okay, well. That is definitely some of the best use of a torch I've ever done. It took some damage, but you know what? Not a bad bit of work. But yeah, so it's like, you know, it's like what Henry Ford said, right? If I asked the customer what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse that ate less. Weakness tongue. What does that even mean? But I mean, for me, I like doing this quite a bit. And like I said, it means a lot that people are, you know, are appreciating the effort. And okay, so you can fuck right off. Whoa! He's probably healing. Take a second to get that Estus up. I really don't like it when I can't see a boss in an environment. Good news is he's a magus. Magus. So he's like a geek. Where are your books now? Is that better, chat? Look carefully. Hurrah for woman. Hurrah indeed. This kind of reminds me of when I go to church. Everybody dying. Dark sorceries being performed. It's not really a boss, is it? Oh, hello.
Something seems to be bothering you.
You
Yes,
mean-
yes, I can tell. It is written upon your face.
Other than the three
You
spiders
doubts
hanging around?
about something you did.
Oh, is this Oswald again?
I am Cromwell.
Cromwell.
Regret, anguish, disillusion, bewilderment. What wonderful gifts they are. Together, they are the essence of life. Don't you agree? But now you're lost, bewildered by your own actions. You poor little thing.
I'm not
Yes,
little.
yes, how tiny and frail are we? But if your heart is yet sincere, your sins will be forgiven. Now is the chance. Demonstrate your sincerity to me.
Who are you?
Anyone can be forgiven, as long as he is sincere.
What about she, Cromwell?
No matter how terrible the sin. Surely, we all deserve mercy. Yes,
I wonder if I can get indictments.
anyone can be forgiven, no matter. Surely.
Oh, nice. I can look like a member of the fantasy KKK. So we need to have higher levels on these miracles. So I guess there's no
Whenever you are
indictments in
ready.
this.
I, Cromwell. Whenever you are ready.
Okay, Spider Bro is okay with that one. Okay with that one. Also okay with that one. Thanks for letting me rob you. My sword's kind of damaged too. Oh, thank God for a bonfire. Alright, as is our tradition, let's go spend some money! You realize the entire reason I've been playing this has been getting another fragrant branch of yore, and I have no idea where I get one. Do I even have one? I'm gonna say no. Where's my milady? Ah, there's my milady.
Bearer of the curse. Seek souls. Larger, more powerful souls. Seek the king. That is the only way.
No worries. We'll be wrapping up pretty
Lest
soon,
this land swallow
Coid.
you whole.
And Little Neutrino, I still haven't seen it myself. A lot of people keep referencing it around me, though. I'm not quite sure what to make of that. You know, one thing I've sort of noticed, I always would rest at a bonfire just to stop me from, you know, from having to walk a really long way. Spider Bro is a cool dude. Lets me take his stuff. I really wish it was possible to just light my torch off of a bonfire. It seems very strange that I can't. Not your style of movie, but with the Trump campaigns, yeah. This is the thing that I've always, like, I'm not a political science guy at all. I will occasionally read it because it is, you know, touching on questions that I sometimes deal with in economics. I am screwing up this fight something bad. But, like, it seems like there's a ton of political science that's basically, like, writing out, you know, these models that basically explain, you know, people who vote different from me are stupid, is basically what it boils down to. And, like, clearly Trump is, like, so Trump is not necessarily anything new. So, like, you know, these people who, like, make a lot of noise and don't convey information and just, like, I think some people might make a comparison to Silvio Berlusconi in Italy. Like, these people exist. Like, they're not, Trump is not, like, the first time something like this has happened. And I just think, like, trying to reduce something down to, you know, people are dumb, therefore this happened, or, you know, the other side is dumb, therefore they vote for the other group. I just don't really think it brings us any closer to figuring out what's going on. Now, I mean, do I want to see Trump become president? Absolutely not. And I consider us very lucky that it's very unlikely that that's going to happen. Man, I do not want to see that in my library. Bloody expensive. You know, the likelihood of him actually becoming president is quite remote, in my view. I mean, I'm not really privy to any kind of special information. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is the beginning of, you know, a very interesting chapter in American politics. But I don't know, like, I just feel like there's probably a more sophisticated dialogue we can have rather than just, you know, all the stupid people keep breeding, therefore we have to deal with, you know, the world being less ideal than it was. Like, I just find it's a more enlightening conversation to have, to say, you know, here's what we know, here's what we've observed about the world. Let's maybe not assume that people who disagree with me are stupid. And okay, so there is a crystal lizard nearby, but it told me to be scared of a trap, so I definitely do not want to chase that. Oh my god. What? That's horrifying. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. Dr. Nolan, it is a blind playthrough, so I definitely would rather find stuff on my own, if you don't mind. I always appreciate the spirit in which advice is offered, but part of the fun of the original Dark Souls playthrough that I had was I didn't consult walkthroughs, I didn't consult really anything. And it was a very rewarding experience, and so I'm hoping to try and capture some of that in this playthrough. I hope you can appreciate the sentiment behind that. But yeah, so like, again, like this is not like, so maybe just to clarify, like this is not to say that Trump is worthy of consideration as a candidate. I think he is very clearly an irresponsible choice for anybody interested in good government. And I don't know, if you want to say it's reality television taking its revenge on, on the political sphere or what. But again, I think there is more edifying discourse to be had than, Trump supporters are dumb, therefore they vote for Trump. Because clearly something very interesting is happening, right? He is a politician unlike what we normally see. So, okay, Dr. Nolan, I will say it one more time. The fun of this game is discovery and doing things on my own. If you have come here for a YouTube plays Dark Souls, if you've come here to tell me how to play the game, this is not the channel for it. Again, I appreciate the spirit in which people offer. I know people just want to help, but the fun in this game is figuring things out on your own and doing them. And the problem is that when people tell me to do things, I am very likely not to do them, which means that being able to discover that on my own is no longer an option. I can't unsee a message that somebody sends. So I very respectfully request that you let me figure things out on my own. I know that's going to be frustrating for people who are familiar with the game, and I wish there was another way of doing it. But you're gonna have to let me figure this stuff out on my own. It's the way I planned on playing this, and it's the way I plan on sticking with it. My dilemma right here is trying to figure out whether or not I drop down, and I would feel a little more comfortable dropping down if I had a direct passage to, if I had a direct passage back up. Alright, that does not look like something I want to be anywhere near. God, the fact that they keep those around is creepy as hell. Alright, I think my decision has been made for me. But yeah, so, I don't know, like, I guess, as somebody who does political economy stuff, like, I'm very interested in the fact that... Oh, this is a new kind of basilisk. Yeah, so it's interesting to me that, people who are seemingly acting in their own interests are voting for a candidate like Trump. And if I reduce it down to these very simple stories that people like to say, then I miss out on a chance to look at. You stopped playing Dragon Age 2 because of the spiders? It's funny. But yeah, I just think you miss out on a really interesting opportunity to study something that sort of upsets people's assumptions with how the world works. Sort of feel like I should just go to the bonfire and resume playing this later, because it is getting fairly late on for me and I actually have some work that I need to do. I kind of want to keep going though, because this is a lot of fun. Too heavy to open. Have you seen my strength rating? God. There's another thing I was going to say that wasn't election related. I think it was related to my studies though. I completely missed it though. Sorry, I'm getting a little dazed and confused. Who am I? What am I? I should have seen that coming. Where are you a citizen from originally, Little Neutrino? I could have sworn there was a direct path into that that pit. I'm probably wrong though. Germany. All of these German Twitch people running around. I've got my eye on you. Okay, so there does not seem to be a way back to that bonfire. I will accept that and press on. Something tells me I do not want to be walking on that, and yet there's very clearly things I can pick up. Why do I do this stupid stuff? Well, actually, let's read the message. Stay calm. It hurts. It hurts. Screw your curse. Only reason you're staying is because of your kids. They are American citizens. I mean, I won't lie, like, there's a couple of people on Team Panda who really like talking about how much they don't like the States, and I mean, you probably already know I'm Canadian. So I know it's something of our national character to thumb our noses at the Americans. But, like, I think about the universities that most of my peers are applying to. They're American universities, right? I think of my friends who have got degrees and they want to work in the, you know, in the real world. You know, they want to work in San Francisco. A lot of them are working in San Francisco. You know, it's not to say that the American system is by any means perfect. Holy hell. But, you know, I think there's a lot going for it. I don't always agree when people are, you know, are too critical of the states. And I think, like, when it comes down to it, like, I don't need to motivate it as, like, some theorem or something like that. I just say it's like, you know, I look at what people say, and then I look at how they behave. And it really feels like, you know, the friends who want to say that they don't like the states, and I mean, again, they're entitled to their, you know, to their opinions, right? I'm not gonna, I wouldn't even imagine dictating their tastes to them. That would be silly. There's no way I can convince somebody, you know what you're actually interested in, you know, is X, Y, or Z. Like, that's so clearly wrong. Of course. But again, like, it's, I suppose the big thing is that for my American friends who always say something like, you know, I just want to leave the country or something like that, it's like, well, you know, do you really feel that the country's so incapable of reform? Oh, hello! Invader! Well, screw you! He's been waiting in that closet a really long time, I bet. Whoa! I haven't even touched him yet. Felt the wind on that one. I really wish I could, like, just backstab the hell out of him, but... Oof. What the hell? Where's my poise damage? Oh, he might kill me. This is definitely very touch and go. I really want to do another... Okay, this is a time to heal. Oh, that would have been a time for a backstab. Ah, my sword's at risk, son of a bitch. I think I'm gonna have to see this through to the end, though. Please don't break. I just need you for one more, baby. You done well, sword. You mean how people say I'm moving to Canada if X is elected, and how about free healthcare and nonsense? Yeah, well, I mean, like, again, like, these are important things, right? Like, it's, if somebody wants healthcare that is sponsored by the state, I think that's a very reasonable request. Like, I live in a country that has the benefit of that. I can't say, oh, it's not that important. But yeah, it's just like, there's something about saying that I'm going to relocate because I didn't get my way politically that, I don't know, like, I just don't feel like, there's a lot of things you can say about the American system, but I really don't feel that the American system is impervious to reform is actually a statement. Like, I think here's the way I can maybe articulate this. So, like, very clearly, some people think that Trump is, like, God's gift to democracy, or he's a buffoon who is utterly dangerous to have in office. I fall in the second category. I'm sure that comes as a surprise to nobody. but it's also not my country, right? Like, I say this as an outside observer. Now, here's the thing, right? We really don't have a recent example of somebody like him being elected president. And the reason why people are talking about going to Canada, or whatever other country they want to go to, is because they're scared that Trump is trying to go in, which again sort of indicates that they actually believe it is possible to change within the states, and at that point, that's why they would move. So I guess what I'm trying to say out of this is like, it seems a little inconsistent to say, things have gotten so bad that I'm going to move to another country, because, clearly me staying and fighting for what I believe in is not going to change anything. And usually the catalysts to those kinds of comments are examples of the country changing. And I mean, personally, like, if I was in Canada and I had a Trump equivalent, my personal view would be, no, I'm not reforming my country so you can have things the way you want them. It's like, we're going to have a conversation about this, and we're going to do things the way we've done them all the other times. We're going to have an election, and we're going to use the democratic institutions that we've all agreed on to bring about this kind of change. I'm just not quite sure the best way to do this without taking damage. I feel like running and jumping that is the worst possible solution, but I'm going to do it. Oh god, that was so bad. That wasn't even a jump. Well, I guess my sword's repaired, but now I'm going to have to get that. Alright, I'm going to get my corpse. Maybe we'll call it for the day. It's a really far way to go, unfortunately. Screw you and the web you rode in on. Family came here while you were in school and you went to university here. I always thought your wife and you would move to Germany, but now you're divorcing. It makes it more difficult because of the children. That makes sense. If I fell down there, I'd be so friggin' angry. Wow, I missed a lot of stuff here. I should keep my eyes on the prize, though. I suppose in the other sense, too, that when it comes down to it, your decision in terms of what country you live in is not always determined by your individual preferences for, a form of government or that. It could just simply be, the people who you get along with being in a certain place. I never really thought of it that way, but that has to be a reason why some people choose the country that they live in. Wow, that actually does a lot more damage than I thought it would. Okay, I need to smarten the hell up, otherwise I'm going to lose all these souls. I feel like I should try and get something with even more poise damage now that I think about it. Oh right, this place. I really easily get turned around. I think Dark Souls is making me very, very conscious of this. Well, hi there. Oh my. It's the Dead Space crossover coming after me. Oh, you know what? Here's one thing I'll share about the states that I really like. It's the way they pronounce. I still don't know if the if it's appropriately called Asperger's or Asperger's, because there's something about the way Americans say Asperger's that's very funny to me. So many spiders. Oh my god, this is horrible. This is gonna give me nightmares forever. Okay, now that that horrific event is over, let's move on to my next terrifying encounter. Oh my god, look how much damage my sword's already taken. Well, it's like, I was gonna say too, like, it's a little bit about, I think the pronunciations of a lot of things in general, it's usually the ones that kind of have like double, or I guess not double meanings, but basically homophones are the ones that sort of seem to have those distinctions. And I don't know if people are just trying to be polite or if there is actually a legitimately different way of saying that word. But like, for example, I was always taught that the planet's name was Uranus. And I always hear people say Uranus. And obviously, you know, one is a little more polite to say in mixed company than the other, right? But I always sort of took it as like, okay, yeah, somebody's being immature about this planet name. Like, okay, we'll just, you know, carry on the conversation without them. Alright, I have a feeling I'm gonna feel like a real moron when I look over the edge on this thing. Oh, no, there's not necessarily a... There's not an obvious way down there yet. Oh, but this seems fairly apparent. So why is everybody dying here? I think because they're trying to jump down? This thing can't be killing them. Or maybe it can. I just took a lot of damage off of me. Of course it's aluminium. No. Aluminum is how I've always said that. Maybe without the, you know, overly emphasized ooh. That's aluminum with an umlaut. I think the other thing too is that when I was little, my dad used to listen to a lot of old British comedies or British radio drama. He wants me bad. Alright, screw you, buddy. Holy hell, okay. Where are you all coming from? Please do not commit acts of violence against me. Oh. So with that in mind, I have a feeling that my my pronunciations take on a little bit more of a British character than is than would be normal for somebody kind of where I grew up. But that's fine because I always heard ladies like a British accent. I never could find me love. Alright. Something tells me I'm not going to want to encounter anything that's behind that wall. So I think I'm going to need to make some hard decisions. I'm thinking those decisions are going to be spend my souls and try to retain as much health as I can get. Getting here next time. Because, like, if I fight a boss right now, my weapon's almost certainly gonna break. Simpleton Spice? Oh my god, what does that do? So there's a Skeptic Spice, which is, it reduces, like, the faith level that you need. So Simpleton Spice, does that lowers required intelligence by 1 for a chosen spell? That is amazing. Dark Souls just called me a moron. And they wouldn't be wrong. Yeah, I am not in any state to be taking on a boss. I guess the nice thing is I can skip a whole bunch of this and just go straight through the fog gate next time. These guys are definitely best dealt with a heavy attack. As long as I dodge them, their attacks aren't that bad, but if they do catch me, they actually do a fairly substantial amount of damage. There we go. So let's just test this up again. And let's see if I can get that last item. If anything else, just being able to clear out this level will be good. Now it's occurred to me, I really don't have, I don't have a way of getting back to that bonfire. So there's a side of me that says I should just trigger the boss and homeward bone out of there. That way I find out, one, if it's actually a boss that's still there. The catch is I might wind up killing myself, which is a very strong possibility. But I really don't think there's going to be any bonfires in this area. I think this is just one long, grueling trek down to this fog gate, so we might as well take a peek. Yep, that's the boss. Oh, if these ads wind up taking me down, this could get really, really ugly. Oh my god. This thing ate a dragon. Of course it's gonna summon ads. Jesus Christ. Yes, 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 yes! Get out of there, please! Please, no! No! Oh god. I almost died. Oh, this is gonna be an adventure. So the obvious answer here is charcoal pine resin. God, it's like 8 o'clock at night. I started streaming at like, what, 3? No, probably 4. Do I really want to try this boss, or do I just leave it for another day? What's my load looking like? Oh man, I'm below 60% now. Something tells me I'm not gonna find another fragrant branch of yore. I'm thinking that's probably not something I'm finding this playthrough. I wonder if I've leveled up because I killed that red phantom. Hang on, is that PvP? Nope.
Look at our new neighbors.
New neighbors.
How they fret over all and sundry. Oh, those were better days. Oh, dear me. It really takes me back. You have died many times, yes. I understand. Here, these are for you. May they help you on your travels. Long ago, a woman called a firekeeper watched over each bonfire. She kept the flame lit and guarded it from those who would extinguish it. I wonder where the firekeepers went. Did you notice any letters on the ground on the way here? These are messages that have jumped the fissures between worlds. In Lake, the flow of time is convoluted. Things shift and waver, twist and turn. Poignant wishes, dashed dreams, the messages convey our very inner thoughts. If your will to soldier on falters, try leaving a message. Somebody out there is sure to listen. You may notice symbols that appear upon the ground. These are summon signatures. They call upon spirits from other worlds through the schisms in time. If you fear hollows, find summon signatures to call upon spirits there be. Do you see the way beyond the bonfire? There was once a you may, but don't ven. Hade's tower in the but the gate is but how it works. Have you seen that pit?
Yeah, a lot of this seems repetitive, so.
If you the flame long ago.
Yeah. We're just cycling through dialogue now.
Find peace on your journey.
Alright guys, I think I'm going to call it for that. As much as I'd love to do another boss fight, I have a feeling that I'm going to be working a little too long on that. So I'll leave you with a wonderful view. We'll do a nice circle of my character. Very peaceful. I want to take a minute and thank everybody for stopping by. This was, again, a lot of fun to do. I'm really encouraged that people are sort of understanding the spirit through which I started this Dark Souls playthrough and decided to do it on YouTube. I appreciate the fact that you guys are trying something new with me, and I think it's really cool that you guys have given me this kind of support by taking a chance on another platform. And more importantly, I really appreciate it when you do let me know. What you like, and as long as you respectfully let me know what you don't like, I definitely use that to try and adapt. So I'll still be streaming on Twitch. All of my stuff that isn't Dark Souls 2 is Twitch, but I decided I would make Dark Souls 2 a YouTube exclusive, and I think you guys can see why. Let's just take a minute, admire that view before we sign off for the night. And thank you, Koid. It was really great having you in here. I'm looking forward to the next time. And for all of you, either whether you're lurking, whether or not you want to use the chat, any of the reasons why you're here, I definitely appreciate it and look forward to seeing you the next time. Very peaceful.